Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're not going to be really doing a replays episode. We're in fact going to be trying to do a full-fledged normal review. I kind of did that with the T-43, but it was a stock tank and they were just generally games I was proud of. But this is going to be more of a fleshed out review of a tank. I apologize for the frame rate. This is recording. I don't feel like changing the graphic settings. I usually play between maximum and high graphic settings, and I go all the way down to low just to let Bandicam record, but here we are. This is my garage. I'm currently sorted out French tanks, and this is the guy we will be looking at today, the FCM 50t Tier 8 Premium Tank. It is a heavy only by name. That pretty much defines this thing. So, I don't suppose we can really compare this to much at all, because it's an unfair comparison to compare this to heavies because it doesn't play like a heavy. It's an unfair comparison to compare it to a premium medium because that only constitutes the T-34-3, which really isn't much comparison at all considering they're very different guns and armor layouts. So yeah, I'm not going to really compare this to anything. I would maybe compare it to a Tier 8 medium, but once again, it's a premium, so you can't really make that bridge. So, screw the comparison. Let's just look at this thing stat by stat. First thing, we look up here, and we see that we have 1,500 hit points. That's pretty standard, if not a little below average. I have no idea. Let's look. What's probably a good benchmark would be the T-34. Let's just have a check. I think it's a little bit below average, perhaps. And no, it's exactly average. Okay, so yeah, average amount of hit points. Great. Not the most important stat, I guess, but average amount of hit points. So that's nice. Weight limit. Weight is 54, and lots of room to put on equipment. I already have equipment loaded. 57. You'll never have an issue there. But 54 tons. This thing is not light. It is not heavy either. But 54 tons plus 1,000 horsepower gives this thing a very nice power to weight ratio. This thing is a very, very speedy heavy tank. This is a large vehicle. You'll see convenient background there. You can see I'm a pretty big tank in relevance to them. This is a large vehicle. 54 tons, 1,000 horsepower. It gets around at 51. You will certainly hit that top speed. You will hit that top speed without a doubt. This thing is very, very fast. And in many ways it plays like a medium. It's just not much of a heavy in many ways. Traverse speed, 40, also excellent. This is a very, very nice responding and feeling tank. And it just maneuvers exceptionally well, especially for a heavy tank. Even for a medium tank, the mobility on this thing would be very good. So, okay, what's next? Hull armor. Considering that this thing plays like a medium, the hull armor is actually quite good. Now, this is probably effective 130 millimeters on the front. But people often think, oh, it's just a piece of paper. So if you angle it around a corner, people often take shots and then yell at you because they say, oh, your armor doesn't bounce. They think it's French. Well, it's 120. If you make that shot, it's going to bounce. So you can use that to your advantage, but it isn't going to save you too much. It will help you bully some Tier 6 tanks, though, that's for certain. And it will help you troll other people who think they can go through your very, very angled armor if you pop around a corner. Other than that, hull armor's not great. It's not bad either. It's just kind of middle of the road. Sits a little bit above where most Tier 8 mediums sit. And obviously below where most Tier 8 heavies sit, but that's different. Turret armor. Turret armor is 120, 80, 60. It performs much better than that. The mantlet is a very good mantlet. I have not had many situations which I penetrated through that mantlet. This is kind of a weak spot, and this is kind of a weak spot, because those are 120 millimeter zones, and yeah, it's a flat angle. Those are most likely going to go through, but if you hit up here, that's actually round enough that you'll tend to bounce, and that is a pretty angled 80 millimeters, and that is not that thin either. So this actually tends to be a surprisingly bouncy turret. And you can very easily take advantage of that because I don't have the specific stat right now, but it does have good gun depression. Nothing American, but I believe it's somewhere around the lines of -8. So that's a very nice, that you actually can somewhat reliably bounce shots with this turret. So let's skip over the gun for a second. Turret traverse speeds, 36. For a heavy, that's really good. For a medium, pretty average. It's a pretty good traverse speed. You will not have any turret traverse speed problems whatsoever. So yeah, 400 meter view range. That is really nice. Now, I will say the only reason there's not coated optics sitting right here is because I do not have the money and did not get quite enough money to get coated optics on this thing over the equipment sale weekend. And yeah, so I would recommend putting coated optics, but I'll get to the equipment in a second. Let me check if Bandicam has gone over 10 minutes. I just need to make sure of this. I'll restart it. Let me just, I'm going to say start and stop just so I can get a good benchmark. Stop, start. Okay, so let's continue. And, okay, why am I clicking on the AMX-13? So 400 meter view range is very, very nice. With coated optics, that means you will have a 440 meter view range at all times in this thing. So yes, it is very, very, you will have a very good view. Now your camera rating on this thing isn't the greatest, though it is quite above average for a heavy, it seems, when I play it, but it's still not great. I mean, this is a very large vehicle, it's a heavy tank, it's not going to be the greatest one, but it doesn't matter if you can see them. 750 meter signal range, as to be expected. It's a tier 8 premium. That's not Russian. I believe the i6 has a bad radio. I could be completely wrong, but the Russians don't usually have the best radios. But now let's get to the important part. Okay, so we've got this fast, giant 54-ton tank that has semi-reliable turret armor and a okay frontal hull armor. What do I do with this thing? Well, you shoot this gun. This 90mm DCA-45 is the gun you get on the ARL-44 and also on the AMX M4. This is a very nice gun. 8 rounds a minute, 212 penetration, and 240 damage, 0.36 accuracy, 2.3 second aim time. This is a very, very good sniping gun. An excellent sniping gun. Its DPM isn't terrible. I mean, I think it's about average. Don't think it's going to tell me the DPM now. But if you calculate it out, it's not fantastic, but it's pretty good. 8 rounds a minute with 204 average damage. Let me just open up my calculator. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, 1,920 damage per minute. It's really not that high of a number, but it's not low, so you won't be lacking the damage per minute part in here. But the 212 penetration on a premium vehicle is a very, very nice thing to have. The accuracy is also a very, very nice thing to have, and the 2.3 second aiming time is something that is not shared by the equivalent gun on the ARL-44 and the AMX M4. So this is a very, very nice sniping gun. The DPM isn't terrible, but you will get out some damage, and it will penetrate most of the time if you know what you're doing. 212 is very, very adequate at Tier 8. So that's a little bit of change of pace for a Tier 8 vehicle. Let's get what I loaded out with. I've got gun rammer. Anything to boost that gun's rate of fire will be very, very helpful to you. Vertical stabilizer. This thing plays like a medium, so accuracy during movement and turret rotation actually becomes very helpful because you can flank in this thing. It is very, very much possible to flank in this thing. And generally, vertical stabilizer is useful in a lot of more useful in a lot of situations where the gun laying drive would apply. The only reason you would ever need a gun laying drive if you are a stationary tank destroyer, for instance, where the vertical stabilizer wouldn't help much. I don't even know if tank destroyers can have a vertical stabilizer. But yeah. Like I said, third slot would definitely be coated optics. Having a 440 meter view range at all time would be very, very ideal on this thing. Crew skills, treat it like a medium tank. As always, 6 cents. 6 cents will help you a lot in this thing. As you see, this is my RL44 crew. If I would suggest training it for whatever vehicle you have it for, but if you just get the FCM 50t separate not because you're crew training or anything, this is what I would choose. This is kind of the same thing I chose in the RL44, but these still certainly apply. Gunner snapshot shooting with the turret rotation is, in addition to the vertical stabilizer, will help you a lot with flanking in this thing. Smooth ride, same thing, accuracy on the move, that will be very beneficial. Radio operator situational awareness, which I believe increases view range. Any hint of view range you can milk out of that 400 meter view range will be excellent improvement in your view range, so that's very nice as well. Loader, this thing doesn't tend to get, if you look at skills, does not tend to get ammo racked a lot. You won't be switching shell types much because your AP shells will be adequate in almost all situations, and Adrenaline Rush isn't actually a terrible one, but I would just start out with repairs as opposed to jumping for Adrenaline Rush. But Adrenaline Rush I could see being very helpful. You're down 150 hit points on this vehicle and your gun speeds up, that might be nice. So yeah, this is the FCM 50t in my garage. So let's head over to some replays in this vehicle. I'll see you in a second. Okay, welcome to the first replay. Let's get going. As we see this time, I remembered to actually fix the markers before we start the replay. This is an 8.8 replay, so still has that issue. And I can't even do 8.7 because they changed some of the hidden system files. Isn't that lovely? So I can't show an 8.7 replay and have the aim down sniper view actually work properly unless I do some crazy thing editing hidden system files, so that's great. Yeah, let's get going here on Sacred Valley. Now I grant you this replay is not the most exciting replay, but we do need to show all the aspects of the tank, and this is a good game, and can't start with the best game. Or the most exciting game, because this may not be the worst of the bunch. I don't even know. I know the game. I do not know what the results look like, but we'll see. I know what happens in this game because I did watch it beforehand. So we're gonna set up in a sniping position in the corner here, where this bridge is. This is a personal favorite spot of mine because if you have any sort of turret armor, you can sit here, get a nice view, and maybe bounce a shot off your turret. And as I said, this thing does have good turret armor. Now, it's not the best turret armor, and you shouldn't be just sitting there hull down in front of tier 8 tank destroyers, but it's a very effective turret. So I'm going to sit here. Oops, almost hit that IS-3. As you see, this thing is a very, very powerful ramming machine. You saw how easily it hit the IS-3. 1,000 horsepower plus 54 tons is a very, very good ramming machine. Ram things with this. It will do you good. M6 is driving up through the little courtyard town area up there. I don't even know what you can call that. I think it's maybe a temple. I don't know. But yeah, we're just gonna sit back here and snipe, and that's what you should be doing. And do a nice shot to that M6 for 201 damage. Really below damage roll, but a negative. Keep going, I think nice shot there. And now there's an IS-2 for us to shoot at. Should have no problems going through his armor. And we detect him. He bounces a shot. The guess is off my turret. There you go. So back into the action, we're just seeing if we can help out our T-69 with this Type 59. I think I botched a few shots here, I'm not sure. But beginning of this game isn't terribly impressive. Well, neither is the end, but it's still a game. This is how you should play this thing as a sniper on a sniper map. This is a very good sniper map, and so yeah, play it appropriately. Stupid outlines aren't appearing. I probably am outlining it right now, but the replay system is now amazing, so you know. There's a Type 59. Should be able to go through a Type 59 without much problem as long as I don't shoot the turret. Even the front hole will be not much of a problem for this gun. So that's nice. Put another shot to his side. Sorry that you don't have the right outline, but we're going to have to live with that for right now. Another one to his side, and our Type 59, I believe, finishes him off. Either that or T-69. T-3, oh, okay, I was wrong. And let's just head back down to snipe. We've gotten a decent amount of damage so far. So we're just going to sit back here. There's no reason to push across here because pushing across the bridge usually does not work. So we just need to concentrate on getting this gun to work where we can. Ferdinand. And 212 penetration is more than enough to go through a Ferdinand. So that's nice as well. There he is again. And he backs off. Or, I can't tell because I don't have the right outline, so there you go. I believe that's it. And someone finishes him off, so FCM. Not much of a shot. But AT7 would hit that nice cupola, which we again can't see. We can do some damage. Like I said, not the most thrilling and exciting gameplay, but hey, I'll do what gets me experience and what contributes to the team. And if this is how you contribute to the team and get experience, be my guest. So yeah, I don't have much to commentate on at the moment. I believe I'm going to go down this hill. These tracks are more than durable enough to handle that, and they're more than large enough to handle that, so that's nice. And take a hit there, but that's not too much of a problem, because once again we confirmed that this thing does have 50 tank hit points at 1500, so I still got 1,269 laying around. I'll be fine. Somebody destroys our IS-3. But we should still be able to win this game. We're looking pretty good. Throw a careless shot. That FCM, he does not get hit. That shot misses as well. Just take note that these games do not have either the rammer or the vertical stabilizer. So we got this last weekend, which was way before these games were played. So it'll certainly perform better than it does right now. Dynamic camera's not on, is it? I felt like the screen was falling a little bit. So I'll finish off that FCM there, and now it's pretty much going to be a rout, hopefully. So let's find these guys and finish them off, see if we can get a little more damage in. And this is where you see, oh yep, we do certainly reach that speed. We're on 48-ish right now, spiking up into 50s occasionally. Very mobile tank. Be able to just pop a shot at that 220 turret, and 220, 212 will do the rest. Come over onto his side, get that nice squishy side to finish him off. And we have now claimed ourselves a T-28 prototype. And the T-34-3, that guy says he must be up there, so let's adventure. We have more than enough horsepower to simply ascend this hill if we do it properly. Excuse me. So yeah, let's just go up here. 1,000 horsepower is good for something, you know. And yeah, for moving, and we're climbing up a hill. And we're going to see if we can try to get some blood from that T-34-3. And we're almost up. Our 1,000 horses have almost completed their ultimate duty. And we're going to come back around the back of this T-34-3. It appears that the Pershing is either struggling or not engaging that T-34. So let's have at him ourselves. We almost outmatched him in health. Probably most likely outmatched him in DPM. I almost certainly do. My gun. So if that KV-1S really wants to face hug him, I have no idea why you would face hug a type there. That's just not a good idea. So hey, he has the freedom to do whatever he wants. So let's finish this guy off. Yeah, he's dead. Excellent. So let's head over to the next replay, which will hopefully be a little more active. So I'll see you then. And this is the second replay, so let's get started once again, where we see that I obviously did forget to do the markers this time, so replay system 1, wedge 1. Yeah, these stupid markers are a pain in the butt. I have no idea why names are the default marker for new players. That's terrible. There must be people playing tier 10s that still have names showing up over their maybe tanks. Disgraceful. Okay, well, let's go over to the right side here where we can utilize our ability to snipe and then late game flank most effectively. Not really a need to go over to the A1 corner because this thing isn't really useful if you're just sitting on the front lines cowering, because this isn't the greatest brawler in the world. It's a good flanker, but it's only an okay brawler at best. And the turret armor isn't terribly reliable against tier 8s, so let's take a shot at the Centurion. I think I hit the side of the turret, so shouldn't expect that to penetrate. Unfortunately, I don't believe I can get another shot on the Centurion. And I need to back off because I start taking an incoming fire. And I just need to back off, just hold on a second, and I'm probably going to have to wait for the Centurion to come to me if he's stupid enough. So yeah. We're just going to sit up here, and we're going to wait. And I promise this game will eventually be more eventful than the last one. So I'm just gonna post up on this corner here, see what I can see. Probably not much at the moment. See an IS over there, don't know what he's doing, he's going down the side of the hill. It appears he's backing up now, regretting his choice. Yeah, that's interesting. That's how far the render distance is on low. There you go. I don't think I've actually ever shot at a target outside of, or looked at something outside of my render distance. Now I have. What do you know? So yeah, amazing, thrilling, great gameplay with Wedge, where we sit and wait. But it's the game. You gotta do it. It's part of the game. And if you want to become a better player, you gotta become patient. And this Centurion, I have no idea what this Centurion is doing. But hey, I don't mind free damage. And I certainly do not mind free kills. And I immediately light him on fire. That's nice. That's a nice sum of damage sitting in my pocket there. And it didn't seem like that Centurion was terribly accompanied, so let's see if we can head down a little bit, maybe see if we can spot anything, if there is anything down there. But for right now, all I can tell is that the only contact we have made has been on the A1 corner. So, can't be too aggressive about this, but we probably should start moving up a little bit. and figuring out what is out on this side of the map. I'm going to go down to the corner around here. Oh, we're on El Haluf, by the way. Forgot to say that, but this is El Haluf, the map of big valleys. Other than Province. We don't talk about Province. Province is a map I thoroughly hate, because all the tier 2s I enjoy playing all have short-range guns. So yeah, we don't talk about Province. Do you not know why that last bump damaged my track? I think I took that pretty smoothly. Thank you very much, game. I think I know my FCM 50t driving skills. I did not damage my track, I swear. So we're moving up a little bit here. We're in the riverbed at the moment, and we're gonna see if I can come around the side of this rock and perhaps get some spots, because we do have a Jag Tiger and SU-100 M1 supporting my back. So I should be able to get a fair amount of fire support directly ahead of me. Excuse me. So yes, more waiting. What an eventful game. That's what you're saying right now. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's got another 5 minutes into a game and we still haven't done much other than kill a Centurion, but I don't get to choose what my good games are, and if my good games happen to be games that are played on very snipey maps, then, well, this is a good sniping tag, or that's just happened to be on my good games. Our ISU-152 dies, which is a big gun on our side, so that's too bad. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he went to the front lines, which is really not where he belongs, but I warned these guys that if that I'm going to go out and I would like fire support, so I'm going to head up and see if I can escape to the right. But at some point during this process, I do believe I get detected, and someone throws a 100 damage shot into me, and the Tiger takes a shot. I believe that was the Tiger, at least, or something along those lines, and they miss as well. I'm looking back over and need to concentrate in front of me. Still a little worried about whoever's back there, and I probably should have been paying attention because, oh, hello, Mr. Gag Tiger 88. Would you like some 90mm in your lower plate? That's what I thought. Now, I don't have much of a health disadvantage here because I did start off so high above him. So, 835 versus 1000. I should be able to take this guy out 1v1. And we are going to botch that shot, unfortunately. I probably should have driven up a little more to give myself more of a shot. And I got a little fire support there. E2 not so eager to just charge around the corner to try to kill me, so we're okay with that. But it appears now that this E2 is going to come around the corner. No. Ah, he's a distraction. There's the Jag Tiger. I was hoping to track him there, but I do some damage through his side armor, and he's going to breeze right past me. So that's okay with me for the moment. I can ignore the E2 because he is not really going to hurt me that much while I kill this Jag Tiger. I have no idea how that shot missed, by the way. When I played this game, that really pissed me off. I have no idea why that shot missed. It just couldn't have. But now we have one dead Jag Tiger. And there's a KV-1S behind me. I'm not doing a lot of damage, so pop a shot. Maybe he'll get off. E2, well, take out a gun from the battle. And now let's see if we can deal with this KV-1S. But unfortunately, I'm on the high ground, and I do have a annoying command attach. Also, that shot looked like that hit. I do have a command attach, which he does certainly find, and he does kill me. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, that's that game in the FCM 50t, and we did pretty well. Took out a Jag Tiger, took out a Centurion, and took out an E2. So let's get headed out to the third replay. And now we begin the third replay on a map I do not enjoy much at all. I don't like this map. It encourages bad play. Going to the middle is usually death, and crossing over is very difficult for slow tanks, and even slow tanks can have problems getting up the hills, and it's just not a very good map. I especially do not enjoy playing from the other side of this map because you basically have to cram up into the southeast corner, because getting over to the southwest in a timely manner in a good position is very difficult. I just don't like this map. This is one of the very few maps I don't like. Actually, this may be the only map I don't like. I would have to think about that more, but like I said, I don't mind this side as much, because if you have a fast enough tank, you can go over to this side and get some pretty nice positions. So I'm going to find a nice position, obviously, and have a nice game. So let's go. We've got our beautiful FCM 50t lumbering across the field at 45, 50 kilometers per hour. I see some targets out there, not really high importance, probably don't have a shot in their current position. So we're going to head up to the side of the hill here, where we actually get a pretty advantageous view. This is one of my favorite spots on the map, and interesting that my reticle has already changed. I actually changed this approximately 1 minute ago. That is impressive, game. You have already changed the settings I made. Fantastic. If you can't tell, I have a reticle mod. Wow, it changed everything. They really need to fix this. Really need to fix this. This is a big problem. Wow. Yeah, let's hope I don't have to play with this again. Why does it do that? Wargaming. Why did 8.8 screw up everything mod and replay related? But yeah, there you go. There's my. Oh, god damn it. Well, guess what? We're going with the German reticle for right now, because if that's what the game really wants to display, that's what the game's going to display. As you tell, I have a reticle mod with historical reticles. It's a very old mod, but hey, it still works because it doesn't conflict with many things. So try and get some sniper shots off from this position, and see what we can do to the enemy team. Put a nice shot inside that T-29 there. As you see, this gives you a pretty darn good view of the battlefield. See if you can also get a shot into that aerial LB-39. As you see, not the greatest gun depression, but certainly good. Like I said, I think it's -8, could be -6. It's in the range of decent but not amazing. And this poor ARL is having a bad day as I finish him off. So that's our first kill. And now we've got this Jagdpanzer charging down the field, and that Type 59's back. I would like to take him out. He's another high priority target in this game, but I don't seem to have much of a shot. Jagdpanzer forward back. Let's see if we can help out our Type 59 a little bit. I lost a shot at that Jagdpanzer. Also shoot that T-29. Type 59 should be able to finish off the Jagdpanzer. So he does. I would help him out with that T-29 a little more. I don't know if I do not end up saving this guy. Some guys there, but I certainly do help. So it did a nice bit of damage there. Unfortunately, that shot of Type 59 misses. Like I said, I would really like to get him out of the game. But I'm gonna head up here and deal with this other Type 59 for right now. So once again, trying to use a little bit of gun depression and turret armor here to establish a good counter position to this Type 59. A kind of awkward hill next to it. and that shot hits his front plate at a pretty good angle, so that's not going to go through. I was hoping to hit his cheeks, but was not successful. You get the roof armor of his hull there, right in front of the turret, so that one goes through, and I kind of get the frontal plate there as well. As you see, that Type 59 bounces because that is 120 millimeters. You can't doubt it all the time. So I'm going to cut up through here and perhaps pursue this Type 59, and oh, but I see an IS-6. And that IS-6 needs to die. So let's see what we can do. We should be able to get him off here. Ah, but we bounce. And he kills our IS-3. God damn it. I will kill this IS-3. Alright, this IS-6 eventually, right? Maybe, please. Just hit it. Oh, god damn it. I really wanted to kill that IS-6, but I really need to help my KB-3 here because he is now dueling with another FCM, and I should be able to just bowl over this FCM, even if we trade shots equally. But I will at least attempt to make the trading of shots unequal so that we can have a little more health after this engagement. So he's 2 shots from death, and I'm 5. Unfortunately, I missed there. I thought I would have hit. I was aiming for his commander's hatch / left side of the turret, missed, and I put another shot into him. He has 100 left left. So let's pursue. And yeah, not bad accuracy on the move. Do a little drift around the corner. That's pretty nice. And I do get that E2, but I am on fire. Too bad I don't know what frickin' fire is in French. I take Spanish, don't take French. If maybe I knew what on fire was in French, I would have reacted a little faster, but I do not. So that GW Panther's now dead. Artillery counter batteries him after I put a shot in him. So now it's just that Type 59 that I wanted to kill earlier. So yeah, let's get at him. There he is. Perhaps get a shot at that. Nope. By the way, this gun is misbehaving much more than it should. I guess generally when I use anything that's supposed to be accurate, it does not to hit the target. That's just kind of me. This is not usually how the gun performs. I say this in like every episode I record. I swear I am cursed to death by RNG, but it's probably just my imagination or my bad aiming. That was a stupid shot to take. And 59's heading that way. I'll retake a shot, and M40, M33 makes that really nice shot there. So we finish off with 2 kills, and let's head over to the after action report where we can summarize all 3 of these games and see how we did. So I'll see you right then. Okay, welcome to the after action report for the first game. I'm just going to read through these very quickly. Once again, I'm just going to show you the generic slides, but I will tell you how much damage and such. So I don't want to spend too much on each one of these, but let's go. So 61,000 credits, 616 gross, and 1,083 experience undoubled without a premium account. So that's quite nice. Let's see what the actual physical damage we did. We did 636 to that FCM 50t with 3 penetrations, 884 with 4 hits to the T-34-3, 681 with 3 penetrations to the Type 59, 468 with 2 pens to the Ferdinand, 435 and with 2 pens to the T-28, and 445 to the IS-2, and 201 to the M6. We knocked out and destroyed the engine of that T-34-3, damaged and destroyed, stupid, whatchamacallit, Type 59, we damaged the track and the engine, and we also damaged the fuel tank and radio of the T-28 prototype while spotting the FCM for 153 HP and the M6 for 48. So yeah, it's a pretty good amount of stuff. Like I said, not the greatest game, but that damage does add up, as you see in the team score, where we did 1,083 base experience, second most on the team behind an IS-3. This thing does not seem to get a lot of credits for what it does, and it doesn't seem to get a lot of money for its XP. Now, granted, I actually the XP amount's pretty accurate because that IS-3 probably did absorb a lot of shots, so I take back what I said, but this thing does not seem to get a lot of credits for the XP, which I'll talk about after I show you guys all this. And you also see that I was the top damage with 3,760 damage. That's a pretty good sum of damage. So, detailed report. 28 shots fired, 21 pens, 21 hits, 17 pens. Like I said, don't judge by my aiming / luck. Mostly my aiming. I try to blame it on luck, but it probably isn't. 3,670 damage with the 17 penetrations. That is a very good damage number on a tier 8 vehicle. And 6 hits received, 4 penetrations, 2 bounces off the turret, and 1,890 potential damage received. Nothing too impressive, but hey, we bounced 2 shots off our turret. 7 enemies damaged, 3 destroyed, 201 spotting damage. All nice, getting around the battlefield, hurting things, killing things. Good stuff. As you see, 61,616 gross credits, as I said, and 47,697 profit. This thing does not seem to get as much as the other Tier 8 premium vehicles. Now, I personally have only owned one other Tier 8 premium vehicle, and it's a worse vehicle than this. And I'm referring to the Super Pershing, but Super Pershing would get much higher credit amounts for equivalent experience. If I got 1,000 experience game in my Super Pershing, I would sometimes make 60,000, maybe 70,000. That's profit of credits without a premium account. So I don't know. This thing seems to lag behind. You'll especially notice it when you not as much with 1,000 XP games, but you notice with like 600 XP games, this thing only makes like maybe 10,000, 15,000, whereas my Super Pershing on only like a 600 XP game would still net me like 30 to 40,000. So this thing seems to be a little different. I also believe, from what I've read, that the T-34 and Lowy are Lurver, if you want the correct pronunciation. Oh, I just pronounced, I don't know, you can talk. But I heard those guys also get more credits than that. This thing tends to stray behind. If you look it up statistically, it also tends to stray behind in the credits department, but still makes a nice sum. It's tier 8 premium. It better make at least a somewhat nice sum. So, flip over to the second game, which I need to find. Let me scroll through all these stupid screenshots I have. There's a lot of screenshots in here, guys. I don't think you understand how many screenshots there are in here. Okay, and excuse me. We got 57,842 credits gross and 1,443 base experience. So this was a very nice game, and let's see what we did. Physically, we did 1,131 to that Centurion who just wasn't all there. Yeah. We did 1,058 to that Jag Tiger, who was silly enough to charge at me, but he was fair played. I mean, it wasn't a terrible idea, but he just executed it wrong and executed against the wrong vehicle. 276 to the KV-1S and 40 to the E2, destroying the fuel tank and track of that Centurion and damaging the engine and track of the Jag Tiger, doing 271 spying damage to the Centurion, 242 spying damage to the Jag Tiger, and 720 spying damage to the E2. So a good sum of spying damage there, as well as detecting all 4 vehicles. So let's flip over to the team score, where we see that we did have a game of 1,110 experience. As you see, the number on the first page was not a base experience because there was some sort of event running this weekend. I am not sure what. Obviously, that Tiger 2 very much deserved the experience more than me. doing his 4,549 damage, but we also did a respectable sum at 2,505. And as we go over to the detailed report, we see that I had 14 shots fired, 11 hits, and 10 penetrations with 2,505 damage. Hits received 11, 10 pens, 1 non-pen. Wasn't in a really any hold down position to be able to bounce shots off the turret, where you're most likely to bounce a shell on this tank. So received 1,845 potential damage. 4 enemies spotted, 4 enemies damaged, 3 enemies destroyed, so doing a pretty equal amount of everything in this vehicle, and also a 1,233 spotting damage game, so that adds on pretty well. So 57,842 gross credits and 45,000 profit. Yeah, that was a nice game. So let's flip over to the third game. See if I can find that one. I think that's the most recently screenshot of the game I have. That was from this weekend, actually. Let me find it. I apologize for the wait. Okay, there it is. So yes, we got a first class mastery, and we got a Confederate, and we got 90,000 credits, and we got 5,825 experience. Obviously with the ×5 from the previous weekend, which is Veterans Day weekend, and maybe some other bonuses, I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see on the team score page. Physically, we did 845 damage to that FCM 50t, 460 to one of the Type 59s, 764 to the other, 983 to the side of that T-29, 227 to that GW Panther, who lit me on fire, 246 to the E2, 610 to the Aerial V39, and 265 to that Jag Panzer, while destroying the track of the FCM, damaging the track of the IS-6, injuring the gunner of the Type 59, damaging the track and injuring the driver of the T-29, and damaging the track, destroying the engine and track of that Aerial V39. So yeah, he wasn't moving anytime soon. And 77 spotting damage to that T-29 with a spot on that GW Panther. Moving on to the team score, where we see that we excuse me, I got a bit of a cold right now, where we did 1,165 base experience, very nice game, and 4,400 damage, a very respectable amount, especially with a 200 alpha damage gun at this tier, or 240 technically, but it's very nice amount of damage. You should really be sticking around the par that tier 8 medium tanks aim for on in this vehicle. So you want an ideal game would probably be like around 2,500. You want to usually get around 2,500 on a good game. But if you hit over 3,000 or over 4,000, that is a really good game in this vehicle, like the tier 8 mediums. Detailed report, we fired 30 shots, 22 hits, 20 penetrations for 4,000 damage, and 6 hits received, 5 pens, 1 non-pen. Once again, wasn't really hulled down terribly much, and 2,430 potential damage received, and spotting 1 vehicle, damaging 9, and destroying 2. So we were spreading around the damage, getting around the battlefield, getting hits, sniping across the field, doing all sorts of unique, awesome stuff. I don't even know what I was trying to say there, but this vehicle does get around. You usually will get a lot of just general stuff done. You won't be racking up kills necessarily, and you shouldn't be just distributing your damage to distribute it, but this tank is more than capable of being able to take advantage of opportunities that are brought up to it. So yeah, we had 68,000 of profit, mostly due to a mission of some sort, which gave me to 20,000. So that would have been 48,000. So yeah, that was the game. That was a very nice game by FCM 50t. Now let me briefly talk about the vehicle itself, just to summarize. So the FCM 50t, pros of the vehicle, let's start with that. Good turret armor, incredible mobility, good accuracy on the move, high penetration, especially for a premium, good accuracy, good aiming time, and just general gun handling for that matter. And then let's go over to the okay areas. It's got okay hull armor. It's got okay average damage. It's got an okay turret traverse speed, and a few more pros actually. I forget that I left out. Very high horsepower engine, very capable of ramming, and a very high view range with a very acceptable signal range at 750. I apologize for the phone in the background. Let's talk about the cons real quick. There's not many, but the cons of this tank mainly deal with. I'm actually struggling to think of many cons to this tank. It has low alpha damage, and it is a very big target with not such a great camo rating. That is probably the only drawback of this tank. It is a giant, heavy tank that plays like a medium, so obviously there are going to be some clunky, large, bad camo aspects of this tank. But overall, this is a good all-rounder. This is kind of what would happen if you took a Pershing and then you just enlarged it by a fair margin, reduced its turret armor, but it still had good turret armor, and this is pretty much what you'd end up with. I don't have the AMX M4 yet, but I would imagine this plays very similar to the AMX M4. I think this plays very similar to a very fast AMX M4. But overall, it's a very good tank. Unfortunately, the credits don't seem to print out as much as other tier premiums, but it's still a very nice amount of credits, very respectable amount of credits. And I have very much enjoyed this vehicle since I have purchased it, so I would certainly recommend it. It's a very generic all-rounder playstyle, focusing mainly on sniping and flanking. If you like sniping or flanking a lot, I definitely would recommend getting this thing. And it will get you some credits on the side, and it also is a great crew trainer. So, yes, the FCM 50t Tier 8 Premium Tank for the French. A very good vehicle. So, I will leave it with a grade of A. I can't be too nice. I can't say A+, because there are only certain vehicles which I can say A+ for, but I'll give it an A. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you then.